Very good morning to all of you, my dear students. So, most welcome in this video class. Today, we have to read about the industrial society and the social change. Before that, we have already read about the ideas of radicals, conservatives, and those of the radicals. And these political trends were signs of new time. ये जो पॉलिटिकल ट्रेंड चला उस समय रेडिकल्स का आइडिया, कंजर्वेटिव्स का आइडिया और जो लिबरल्स थे उनके जो आइडियाज़ थे एक्चुअली दे कैन बी कॉल्ड अ पॉलिटिकल ट्रेंड एंड इट ब्रॉट अ न्यू टाइम देयर इन यूरोप. It was time of profound social and economic changes. So many type of changes. Out of those changes, two types of changes: society and that of the economic change. So how the society was changed? Due to French Revolution, you already know people were inspired a lot and they started changing their societies. During the French society was divided into states, but here society was divided into the ideas, different ideas like liberals, conservatives, and those of the liberals. Okay, and after economic changes were brought by the industrialization, and so many changes occurred there. That's why it has been said it was a time of profound social and economic changes. It was a time when new cities came up, many more new cities were built up, many more new cities came up there, and new industrialized regions developed. So around the industry, when it was set up there, so many new cities were setting around the industries. So this is very common. Whenever a new industry is set up, around that so many new cities or new people start to live there. So railway expanded and the industrial revolution occurred. So actually railway lines were set up for a longer distance, and that's why it connected peoples together, it connected states together, and also it connected the cities together. Okay, so that's why it helped in the industrial revolution and expansion of industrial revolution that started there in England. So industrialization brought men, women, children to factories. So this industrialization brought men, women, children for working in the factories. Work hours were often very long and wages were poor. Actually, you know, if you work in a factory, there is the time limit from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. you have to work, or whether you have to work from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So this is the timetable of factories, but there the working hours were often long, very long, means they were working for longer period of time, but in return they were getting very less wages, काफ़ी कम पैसे मिलते थे उनको. Unemployment was common, particularly during time of low demand for industrial goods. Unemployment was a very general matter, but it increased when there is very low demand for industrial goods, means the goods which were produced there in the factories. If its demand was less, then unemployment increased. As so many new cities were formed there and around the industries also, so housing and sanitation were problems. As you know, the people who were working in the factories, definitely they were very poor. They could not afford the rent of the expensive houses, so that's why they were forced to live in very poor condition, very pitiable condition, where the sanitation was the major problem. Later on you will read in this chapter only how the laborers had to go for a longer distance for bathroom or for toilet. So these were the problems in towns were growing rapidly. So towns were increasing very fast, and that's why such type of problems occurred there. Liberals and radicals searched for solution of these issues, and liberals and radicals were determined and they were searching the solution of these issues, that these issues should be removed there. So these were the ideas also of liberals and radicals. Come to see the next point. Here in this photograph you can see what the condition of the people who are living in a very short room, in a very small room. You can see so many people have been gathered there, but they have means barely a very few place for sitting also, very less space for sleeping. So they were living in a very bad condition there, pitiable condition. This picture shows that. And then after, almost all the industries were property of individuals.